Hey guys, what's up? Bisectatron here from One Hive Gazette, here with the next video, and today's video topic is what I think is a much needed video on funneling, something I've talked about in the past. Check out my video on how to funnel bowlers into the base. I might link that in the description because I made that a while back, but it still applies if you have difficulty specifically with bowlers. But today is an overall how to funnel, kind of revisiting, looking at some tips, some attacks, because we see it at the top level, people having trouble funneling, but we also see some great examples that I want to show you guys. This first one here, let's just kind of talk through it as it goes. I like the boulder bounces. Now, it allows you to funnel 2 layers at once. You need the building on the outside to be equal or higher in HP, so you'll see these buildings don't quite go down, but the point is it weakens them enough so that they can be one-shotted by wizards, these 2 buildings, so it's still worth doing sometimes for each side of your funnel to use bowler bounces, then finish it off with like a wizard or some kind of other troop, because you get down most of the hit points here, even if you don't completely take out the building. So wizards on both sides here. The main problem I saw with this funnel is you want to start from the outside and work your way inwards. That means you want to take out the buildings on each side of your funnel, then have kind of troops converge towards the entry point. This attack, everything kind of went down simultaneously, so you'll see that that mortar is still left up. The king's kind of in a weird spot there. The queen's going for a walk. The king actually comes back, fortunately. But the problem was it was kind of everything at once type funnel. And that's not the best way to do it. We'll take a look at this base being hit a second time and talk about the differences. So not having the queen inside the base is going to be a huge factor here. She does get some value on the outside, but the baby dragon doesn't go down, which basically ruins the attack. So we'll fast forward. We're mainly focusing on the funnel for these attacks. You'll see the hogs just can't quite do it with that baby dragon on them, obviously. And the wizard doesn't get the baby dragon either. So nice try here. We will back out and take a look at the cleanup. One of the reasons I chose this base and the attacks on it was because it was one of the bases I helped plan for and actually ended up attacking. So that was number, what number was that? 29. Let's take a look at the cleanup, which is the attack I ran. So I was kind of familiar with the plan and everything, and the changes that were made here. So first of all, I liked the bowler bounces. I wanted to do that again, get those 2 collectors, the gold mine and the elixir collector on each side, low on hit points so they can be one-shotted by wizards. Now I'm taking my time here because I'm really thinking through the exact deployment right before I start. So it's counting down. Here we go. Bowlers go down, get the nice bounces. They're out of range of mortars, which helps also. They keep their hit points a little more. And then right here, giants going down. Another bowler to kind of, that's another thing you can do is I bowler bounced off the army camp to finish off the gold mine there. And the reason I spent a whole another 6 troop space is because that bowler is not just doing that funnel, but it's going to be moving to the left, possibly going inside the base. So it's worth it there, in my opinion, instead of just dropping it with all the other bowlers, to use it a little bit farther over and get that second bowler bounce angle to completely take out that building. That way you don't even have to worry about getting a wizard to kind of step up for that. On the other side, just went heavy with wizards. And you can see, let's pause for a second, this mortar about to go down, taking out the sides first, then working my way inwards. That's the main difference here. Haven't dropped my queen yet, haven't dropped my wall wrecker, leaving up these buildings by the entry and taking out the sides first. So the mortar goes down on the left here. Now we start working our way inwards. The wizards take out that dark elixir drill, the gold mine, and then finally you end on this last building on the outside, which is where you want your troops to step up and target this gold storage right next to the entry point. That's where you want to end on, is right next to your entry point. Have that one building that draws everything in. It helps, of course, that the wall wrecker opens up like the entire top of that base there, so everything goes in for the most part here, and then it makes a big difference in terms of the kill squad push. Hog deployment wasn't the best, admittedly, but it didn't matter because of how well the push went here. And also I started the hogs very early, so I get some mutual tanking. The Valk's tanking for those hogs, the queen kind of sitting back doing some work as well here as the hogs move through, and it ends up being a triple. So that's the thing, just One thing I want to stress for this video, we'll look at some other attacks, but start on the outside and work your way inwards and have that building that's going to be a thing that draws everything close to the walls, close to your entry point. Don't take it out along with everything else until the funnel's been created. So fast forward here, move on to another base. And yeah, we have 2 attacks on this next base as well. So one of them will be a failed attack, one of them will be a cleanup attack, just like this. Number 22, here it is. Alright, this is another thing I want to stress. So we talked about starting on the outside, working your way inwards. The next thing is kind of funneling even beyond the entry. So the funnel doesn't stop once your troops are inside the base. And I think this attack demonstrates it very well. I think this was the first attack on this base. It ended up taking, I believe, 3 attacks. Yeah, I think 3. So we're not showing all the attacks on it, but I believe this was the first one, which is why he was dropping some test wall breakers to kind of look for some potential Teslas and stuff like that. But you'll see the funnel is pretty solid. Everything goes in. That elixir collector did scare me a little bit, but luckily nothing targets it. I guess the bowlers do, but no, the bowlers do go inside. So funnel works out well. But you'll see the problem is this compartment has these buildings. It has a multi-mortar barracks. It has all these buildings that are very close to it. And even though he gets the value he wants initially, the expos, the queen, that kind of stuff, the troops naturally are going to kind of go towards the outside. Nothing pushes them in. The wall wrecker doesn't get far enough. So ideally, instead of taking out this side of the base, they'd be pushing farther and kind of helping the hogs. Now you're thinking, well, hold on, isn't he getting like a giant bomb, Teslas, stuff like that? I'm not saying that's not valuable, it is, but for hogs, the main thing is taking out, we touched on this in the last video, taking out as much of the core as you can, because the hogs can't take out that much width. They need a very tight pathing, narrow within the width of a heal spell, and also it helps to have that mutual tanking. Here the kill squad diverges to the right, which would be better if it was a Laloon attack, but in this case it's more important that the hogs have some support from the kill squad, because right here they have to encounter this entire side of the base on their own, and it's just not going to work out here. Additionally, the queen gets on the lava hound, which doesn't help, and things just kind of peter out towards the end. So the base is tough. It has some dead space. It would be difficult to actually push into like the CC and stuff like that, but we'll take a look at the next attack and see how it was different here. Very close though. Fast forward, nice freeze there. The hogs just kind of peter out towards the end, and the queen can't finish off that wizard tower, so very, very close for sure. We'll let the timer run down here, and then we'll move on to the cleanup attack for this. Alright, it is number 22, so moving up. Ice Bandit with the cleanup here. Fast forward to the start. Same bowler bounce. This is a little bit different than the first attack. Very nice how the gold mine is on the outside, so it gets a complete bowler bounce, taking out 2 layers there. Often it's worth it for that 6 troop space investment. Kind of a no-brainer here to Sui the Queen. You're creating a funnel, you're getting value, and you're also going to ensure you don't pop the lava hound. So great thing to do in kind of a kill squad hog attack is to Sui the Queen if you know it's a hound CC, and that's what he does. She gets some good value on those Teslas, and then the difference is the queen takes out the multi-mortar, I think. No, not quite. But there's a baby dragon, which I think was important to help take out these exterior buildings and start moving forward. It's allowing everything to stay more compact inside the base. They're not going to wander out to that Tesla farm because the queen got it. And right here, the enemy king goes down. Good value, once again, this kill squad. The baby dragon finishes off that multi-mortar, and things kind of stay more intact inside the base here. There's some barbarians tanking. Okay, now that I look at it, it wasn't like the kill squad actually pushed that much farther in, but I think there's more hogs. I think that's the main difference, as well as the lava hound obviously not going to pop here, which definitely helps, because those lava pups are a huge nuisance at the end of the attack here. So it wasn't like the cleanest push, and it's difficult to get past this bomb tower area. The bomb tower actually didn't even go down. But the baby dragon took it out. That was a surprise. I don't know where that baby dragon came from. I think it cut across following the lava hound. That was just weird, that baby dragon. But the point is, even beyond this attack, you want to think about pathing beyond just going into the base, but pathing once your troops are inside the base, your kill squad, maybe if it's a mass bowler like a witch bowler attack, definitely have to think about pathing through the entire base. And what's going to be kind of funneling once you're inside the base? Is there a queen walk on one side? Is there some troops on the outside pushing things in? Just food for thought for attacks at any town hall level. So this one was a nice cleanup. Good job to Ice Bandit. And I love the Sui Queen on the right side for funneling and for some value, keeping her away from the Lava Hound as well. So one more attack, then we'll wrap up this video. This is just a single solo attack on number 39, which had a nice funnel. And it also illustrates one more thing I want to talk about. I was actually helping plan this attack. It was very suspenseful getting that boulder bounce onto the mortar. We weren't sure if there's going to be a Tesla popping. It's a fresh hit. The angle was sketchy, but the boulder bounce does work, and that is a tremendous value right there for that funnel. Getting a defense as well as a very nice funnel there. Now check it out, using the king as a funnel on the left side, typically not worth it, but he's going to be grabbing a few defenses. We actually thought he would get the archer tower. He ends up not doing it, but it is valuable to sometimes use the king to funnel if you get defenses and if it's a really hard funnel in general. So very valuable there. Wall Wrecker comes in, and you'll notice the queen kind of went to this side here, then comes back around for the Inferno. It helps if you have a building like the Inferno that the queen can barely not reach, because if she's close to the walls, that's most likely going to be the next building. Hopefully this Wi-Fi resolves itself. There we go. That's going to be the next building she targets oftentimes, because she can't reach it from the outside, but she can reach it if she enters. See, I've talked about this before for bowler funneling. If there's a building 2 tiles away from the wall, the bowlers can only target it if they go into the base. So if you can get them to target a building inside the base, it'll force them in to take the entry. If the Inferno's not here, what pulls her into the base? The bomb tower, maybe, but she can reach it from the outside. So look for these buildings that your troops can only target if they enter the base, and try to get them as close as possible to them. Having the queen right up against the walls means that the Inferno is going to likely be on her mind. She's going to want to target it, and she knows she can only target it if she goes around into the base, and that's why she came back in, because she had to go in, she had to step up onto where those walls were broken in order to actually target it, meaning she enters the base. So look for those key buildings. Wall Wrecker pushes nicely. Good heal on the bowlers. The rage and heal on the bowlers is so powerful at Town Hall 10. It's the same thing as the Frozen Witch attack, actually. You have those bowlers drop in the middle of the base with a rage and a heal, and they basically just nuke the entire middle of the base. I was actually thinking they'd do more damage. The Wall Wrecker deployed a little bit early, so they had to go through a wall, and the queen shot down quite a few of them. So that easily could have done a lot more damage. But the key is the queen is still up and alive inside the base. Pops the ability here. She does a very nice job helping out the balloons initially, and then there's just so many balloons they overwhelm the rest of the base. Good Lava Hound there to soak up the remaining air bombs by those wizard towers, and we'll fast forward here because this one is all but over. Hope this video helped. Just a few quick tips. Start on the outside, work your way inwards. Think about funneling even past that first layer, but funneling as your troops move through to keep them going towards the core, which is typically the goal for your kill squad. And finally, look for those buildings that they can't be reached from the outside, that they're going to force your queen, your bowlers, whatever it is, into the base by being just far enough inside to force the troops to take the entry point wherever that may be. So hope it helped. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bisectatron out.